What's going on out there to all my collectors? We have a special episode today. We're going to talk about grading, and we're also going to do submissions. Now, before I get into this, I want to first talk about the process of grading for me, my experience. Um, it's an exciting experience for me. When I get my comic books graded, even the time process of waiting is somewhat exciting for me, and I can't wait to see the grade. Now, at times we do get disappointments, but at times we have a feeling of what we know we're going to get, and you might get a surprise and get something perfect or close to it. In this case, collectors, we have three special items that I am grading. First one being Prismatic Umbreon Master Ball Hollow, y'all. I love this card. Different variations of this card to the Prismatic set, but as you can see, this is the Master Ball. You can see the pattern. This is going to my surprise, this card is going for a pretty penny. Even in a raw state, it's going for a pretty penny. So imagine it graded. Second card, Ascended Heroes Stevens Metagross. Now this card is very special because it's a very highly sought after card, and it's not that easy to pull as well. But at the same time, it's somewhat quiet, not slept on, but quiet. You don't hear a big roar about it, but this card right here, highly sought after. Stevens Metagross, y'all, from Ascended Heroes at number 2. And on top of that, the raw version of this, last time I checked, has been fluctuating between $120 and $100. But the graded version, you can only imagine. And at number 3, once again, out of Ascended Hero set, we have the Mega Gengar EX Brigade card. I love this card. I was so excited when I pulled this card. When I pulled this card, people, I jumped up with joy because I didn't think that I was going to pull this card. And it just so happened it was the last card out of the pack. And I pulled it, y'all. So this is the third card that I'm going to be graded. I made sure that I took good care. And we're going to talk about what company I chose to go with. Okay, so in this case, I had to think long and hard, and I wanted to decide which company I would like to grade with. Of course, my first thought when it comes to trading cards is PSA. We're going to talk a little bit about PSA later on down the line. Right now, I want to focus on the actual company I chose to go with. That being Beckett. The reason why I chose Beckett is because I haven't heard anything bad about them. They're a fairly new company, and I really like their labeling. The black label is very rare, and I think others think the same thing about it because when you compare the prices to certain cards that are the same of a 10 grade compared to Beckett and others, sometimes those Beckett 10s are looking pretty good, as you can see. Yeah, so I chose Beckett. So we got we have our packaging slip. It's fairly, in the process is not hard at all. They give you a three-step instruction. Make sure your card is secure, and which I'm going to show you how I'm going to secure my cards. But make sure you just put the slip inside, have your bubble wrap, and you have your box ready and have your addresses and everything, and you send it off. So that's what we're going to do today, guys. This is going to be a semi-parted video because, of course, this is not an overnight process. But I just want you to get a good look at the 3 items that I'm sending. And I want you to let me know in the comments, what do you think? Is it worth my time grading? Is Beckett the right choice? I want to hear it all. This is the collector, y'all, until part 2 of this grading process.
Being harmed is what gives you standing in front of a judge, right? When you make a decision, right, that impacts my business, right, in a negative way, and I sue you, I have now standing to do that. This is the point of this piece that you just read, Luke, that's critical. The fund to challenge the fund may come later when claimants, even Trump opponents, might allege they were harmed because their payouts were too low. They were harmed. You said, I should get $3 million. They give you $150,000. You sue them. That gives you standing. So help us better clarify the standing argument.
No offense to whoever, and there's a lot of great comments. No offense to Reuters. No offense to Reuters. Okay, to one of the wires, but I want to be real clear for the last year and a half about every time we file a case against the citizens.
Okay, so from here we're gonna just pack the cards up, stack them on top of each other between the 2 cardboard slabs, and then we're gonna make sure that we secure them. Now they usually say don't tape them. Of course I'm not going to do that, but they want people to, or they suggest that we use rubber bands, but I'm not too fond of that either due to the pressure that rubber bands could bring. So to avoid deforming it in any type of way, I had a better idea, so I suggested that I use a plastic slip, such as a comic book plastic sleeve, where it has enough room where I can dimensionalize it, to my liking. And so we're gonna just do that. Then put 1 piece of tape over it, seal it so they'll know where to open it at. Make sure we use our scissors to cut that off, and then we're just gonna seal it off with 1 piece of tape so they'll know. Yep, just like that. And then we get our box with our plastic bubble. Make sure that it's inside the right way. You want to have enough room to lay your cards down flat on the surface, where you can just fold the bubble tape over that. Of course, after putting your slip on top, so they can know what's what. Then from there, we just seal it off and then get it ready for the journey, guys. I can't wait. It's going to be a process, but I'm going to be anticipating it every step of the way. This is the collector, y'all. I need y'all to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments, man. Let's get the subs up. Let's get the channel in the algorithm, y'all. Peace.